Alright, so I've cut out where the um, holes were, and now I've got the phosphoric acid working on the edges so that I'll be able to weld nice and clean. I'm going to weld from this side for the most part. From above is always easier than from below. So I'm going to let that sit for a little while and go start measuring for the patch on the other side. All right. Patch took longer than I had hoped, but it's now in. I used my porting and polishing carbide bits and sanding drums to smooth it out on the inside. And that, there's the patch on the outside. So I'm going to do is tape it up and put a layer of kitty hair on it. That'll seal it up. Looks like tomorrow will be dedicated to making the patch for this. Alright, I covered the area with kitty hair. I masked the back so that it wouldn't interfere with the form drain. And after that sets up, we'll lock that down. So for now, I'm going to switch and make the flange and then put it in my shrinker to get it to fit, and then I'll cut another piece out that will match this but will be flanged along this edge, which then I'll weld to my shrunk piece that has the curve, and that'll all be able to go in as one nice piece, hopefully. So I made that flange with my Harbor Freight breaker, which is a piece of crap, but I can get a 90-degree bend close with it, and then I end up just having to take my hammer and just kind of running along it to crispen it up. So oh, it's hot in here. So what I'm going to do is probably just go ahead and quit for the day and start back on this tomorrow with shrinking the back edge piece, and see where we go from there. Well, I decided to go ahead and get the flange built up, and let's see. So I got the profile pretty good, but I overdid it on the top, and so looks like about ½ inch to the right of where it says out, the T. I need to use the stretcher to bend that back out more flat. Alright, I did the stretcher and it's much closer, and still need to go a little bit farther. You end up paying twice as much, no, almost, because there's discount, by getting the shrinker and the stretcher separate. But I think it's well worth it because you can switch the jaws on them, but then stuff like this where you're fiddling would just take forever. Alright, well, given that Jaguar wants me to put glue, between those two pieces, I think we are good. Maybe 1/16 of an inch gap in here, but compared to the 3/8 to 1/2 inch that Jaguar thought was okay. I think we're all right. So I'm gonna quit for the night. All right, so it's Saturday before the Daytona 500, and this weekend what I wanted to get done is the 3 known patches that I have to make made. That would be the one for here. There's a dent here that I'll have to pull out first, and then the little flange at the front of the wheel well there, and then the great big repair where it was caved from an accident on the passenger side in front of the wheel well. So all I want to try to do is get the patches made, and then burning them in will be another project. All right, was able to make pretty good progress with the stud puller. There we go. But the bulkhead, the sill, actually ends right here, just to the left of that hole. So most of the dent is actually in the unexposed area underneath the battery tray, which of course has a lot of rust on it. So I went ahead and cut the bolts that hold the bottom of the battery tray in, those down there. And so I just need to remove these two and this one, and hopefully it'll come out, and then that'll give me access to see if I can't level that dent out a little more from the inside. Alright, so I got the battery tray out. Needed to use heat and deep creep on that one. The bolt on the inside here was all corroded. There are 2 at the top that held these in. Our flange top, who knows if they're original or not. But it's out. So, the dent is right down in here, so now I have access to that. The metal in general looks good. There's some surface rust down here at the bottom, but nothing to suggest that there's rust through. On the front closing panel that forms the inner wheel well, there was like tar goo stuff on here under this rust, or on top of the rust I guess, and then here under the bolt, and then over here the E-Type is known for being advanced for its day, and apparently they glued these inner sill panels to the closing panel to the sill, and advanced technology doesn't equate to good workmanship, because you can see that they didn't make an effort to get it very tight. So I'll clean this up, vacuum up the mess, tap out the dent if I can get at it. It feels like it's right underneath the flange here. So when we get it cleaned up, we'll have a better idea of what's what. Yeah, I was able to hammer most of that dent out. from the inside down here. And then started pulling out the adhesive that they used to seal it again, and there's the big turd of it pulling out. Just using the propane torch to get it. So there we are. Alright, so I decided to go ahead and take the body tag off, which is held on with 4 aluminum rivets and then glue. So I don't know if that's original or not. It seems unlikely. So I'll clean the glue off, and then I'll soak it in the chelate, which will should clean it up nice. Then 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. This is 2 pitted. I checked the other side, and it flexes like this too. And you gotta figure that it's not really structural, because otherwise they wouldn't have used the caulk / glue. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out and make a patch panel. That'll also give me better access to weld in the patch for these holes over here. So gonna start that next. Alright, I got the piece of the sill cut out. You can see that the actual sill itself on the inside is rather clean, or maybe clean. So the piece that I cut out just had some minor surface rust on the back, but I'll go ahead and we'll clean it up, and then we'll patch the hole we started with. Oh shit, sorry. So the piece that I cut out, the inside looks good, just some minor surface rust. All the rust that necessitates pulling it out is caused by the battery inside of the sill. Looks fine, so I'll vacuum it out and then put in a patch for that hole, or those holes.